Hi guys, we are determined not to have any difficulties. So I hear an echo.
I think it's coming from here. Turn it
Turn the
down.
volume down. Let me see it real quick. Guys, I told you that we would be learning all of this together. Why is this not going all the way down? I don't want to mute your microphone. Okay. And let me see if it'll be better if I turn it this way for you guys. Yeah, turn it that way and sit close to each other.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to
Continue
continue on with the conversation.
coming through the phone.
I don't know how to change that.
Cause you can't turn like the volume off from somebody talking to you. So
Okay. All right, so we're going to continue on with the conversation, and hopefully that echo won't be too much. If you guys can let me. Hi, Nikki. So while I'm doing some technical things, guys, if y'all can go with the conversation.
how I know I've changed?
Yes.
Ooh. What? Would you like to begin?
Well, what I said when they didn't hear me the first time due to adjusting the system. I know I've changed because now instead of saying yes to everybody and trying to be there for them, putting their needs and feelings before my own, I'm saying no, and I don't feel bad about it because I put my needs and put me and my needs first now. When I have not done that in some years.
And I like
Pretty much. Yeah. I was always taking care of everyone else, and I got lost myself in doing so. So now I say no, and I'm taking control. I'm putting me first so that I can evolve the way I want to.
I know that I have changed for so many reasons.
Okay.
Um, I have a reputation for oh yeah, she's crazy, she's a pop. I do have a two of these. I do try to think things through now versus before. Mm. And in my relationship.
Big on it. It's
Or
a
request, like, oh, like yelling and cussing and screaming. I don't want to do that. So I'm like, okay. And I do my very best not to do that. Um, that's because that's someone that I care about.
Right.
I still struggle.
Mm-hmm.
People that I don't quite do it so much. Please leave me alone.
Okay.
Can you say that's more like a protective mechanism?
Oh, it's people that I don't know.
Yeah, where you're going from.
I don't know
What do
what
you think?
I call it off.
Yeah, it's difficult, no matter how it comes out, you
That's
still can't
learned.
just, well, that's true. That is very
And
true.
I'm trying to unlearn some
Yeah.
people that I
And
care
that's
about.
hard because when you've grown up around mom, dad, grandparents, uncles, and especially if they live in close proximity of the home and you grow around that, that's learned behavior. We're taught young how we're supposed to respond to things
Right.
that happen,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to now we're more like, no, let's just talk about it. We don't always have to get up in each other's face, but now things are just everything people say now is being, how you say, detecting, and it's under a microscope.
Wait a minute, I just feeling that echo. I want to try to get that out. Try to get this volume down again. Oh, sugar. I should have left well enough alone, huh?
Sorry, this.
Okay, that's up and that's down. And normally I can mute that all the way, but it's
I
not
think
letting.
it's coming. I don't know. I think it might be coming from.
I don't want to take. What's this? What does I say? Don't. What does I say?
Don't catch that.
Hold on. Let me put glasses on.
Didn't catch that.
Didn't catch that. Try again. Okay, that's some Google stuff. All right. I just wanted to. I wanted to make sure that we weren't echoing. Like, guys, I'm really trying everything to bring you the best quality that I can. And let me see if I can do something over here. So another thing that I realized about myself and how I know I've changed. Jimmy is on. Don't let the devil derail your strength. Thank you, James Moulton.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you so much. Exactly. We'll push you through regardless of what's going on. But one thing that lets me know that I've changed is that I've learned and accepted that one, I can't make people love me.
That's good.
Two, I can't change how they love me. But three, I can determine if I want to accept the level of love and or respect they give or don't give me.
I'm gonna say something to add to that because I know I've changed when it comes to that, but I'm gonna go a little bit further.
Okay.
I can't change how a person wants to treat me, love, love me if it's not productive or healthy. But I'll make the decision on whether or not if I want to tolerate them.
Exactly. That's what the last one. Sharon Perry, thank you so much. Hello, I found you guys on Facebook. It's a lot better. Wonderful. Okay, yes. But yeah, one thing I used to think that I just had to accept whatever people gave me. And that's coming from some things that happened in my childhood. I felt less than, that I was unworthy, and that whatever snippet of love and attention you gave me was enough. But no, I'm willing. I posted earlier today, like I said, a meme that was like, I deserve. It's basically saying the same level that I pour out into you, I deserve to have it received back into me. And I now truly believe that about myself. And when I deal with people, I love and treat people with the same kind of courtesy, respect, and love that I want to receive. Everybody will know how to treat me based on how I treat them. Because if I don't deal with you, I don't deal with you. I'm just not following. And they don't get it.
You know, have you ever thought about how I was talking about writing? I was journaling today of how because with the dynamic of our family. If ones that don't know, my father is her uncle, her father is my uncle, because my mother married into her father's brother.
Okay.
I grew up seeing how a man's supposed to treat a woman and how my mother was very submissive to my father because he allowed a safe space for her to be submissive.
Right.
It was never about control. He couldn't control her. Never about. It was not even about control.
And by the way, this is her anniversary of her death date.
Yes.
She transitioned on today.
Oh, thank you for
4 years ago.
Oh, thank you for still coming.
Okay. We got a lot of support all day.
Okay.
But as I was saying, my sister and I had were blessed to see how they interact with each other
Mhm.
as a couple,
Mhm.
as a team,
Right.
how they support each other, even down to how when they agreed or didn't disagree. My father was not a yeller.
Okay.
He was very patient, kind, gentle, like a gentle giant,
Okay.
and a protector. My mother felt safe. She wasn't born with how to value herself,
Mhm.
self-worth. I'm doing the same thing. So
Did you hear
I
that?
oh, we are
um,
cracking up.
she was not taught she was not taught self-value
Mhm.
or self-respect. She learned that on her own when
Mhm.
she moved out on her own.
Okay.
So, which means when you're out at 17 on your own, you learn you learn survival. And she took a lot of the things that she grew up with, that was placed in front of her,
Mhm.
to be strong and to be all those things. So
Mhm.
basically, when she met my dad, he's 9 years older than her. She was 17.
Okay.
And then she got pregnant right away with me.
Mhm.
So they end up marrying, I think after they had me, and she was pregnant again with my sister. So they got married. My father knew that he was dealing with a teenager, but at the same time, a very independent woman because she was on her own.
Okay.
So he allowed her space to develop the way she needed to develop because she's a teen mom, a wife, a woman.
Mhm.
She had her own job. She had her own independence. And he
Mhm.
allowed her to be herself and love on her anyway. So that was, and what she did not get from her, did not receive from her mom, and she's never even had a relationship with her own father. He filled those gaps, if that makes sense. And
Mhm.
what she gained from that relationship and that marriage, she poured into me and my sister,
And
Courtney,
all of us.
all of, everybody that was
Mhm.
involved with me, Courtney, her brother, my aunt, her mother, my uncle, her father. My mom was that matriarch. She poured
Right.
into everybody that came across 2800 Silver Hill in
Okay.
Baltimore City, Maryland.
I know that's right. So
You know, she was really there.
Jane said, if your love is not being reciprocated, you're fighting an uphill battle that is not worth the climb or
That's
effort.
what he
I
was.
totally
That's what
agree.
I'm at.
I
He was
totally
saying
agree.
What if,
Say it
oh,
again, Jimmy.
hold
Whoever that said
on.
that.
So what if it's a situation where, because I have learned to love in spite of, because with all of that she just described, it was never conventional.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we never quit on each other.
Right.
So I'm still in a place where, even though you might not love me the way I want to be loved, I'm still stuck at, let's work with you. Let's work together and see if we can figure this thing out together.
That's good, but they have to be willing and open to do so.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not willing or open to do so because they want to be in that same space with you in that way to grow together, they have to be willing and open to do so for that change to happen. There's a difference when, because I've been there too, doing the same thing. But if they're not open, or they're giving you the perception that they are, but they're
Right.
really not, because they have other
Maybe
intentions,
they don't
you
know
have,
how.
and that could be it too. But at the same time, don't. If you know that's not what you want, and that's not, if you don't know how, then be man or woman enough to say, teach me because I don't know. Be man or woman enough to say, I don't know how.
I agree with
You get what
that.
I'm saying? As opposed to just what they say, going with emotions, but then you keep
But
retracting
if
and
you
creating.
don't know, you don't know what you're asking for. You know what I mean?
Just
So it
like,
depends
I
on
don't know. I always
no, but
play.
I get what you're
I
saying.
always play that advocate of, we don't always know.
That's true.
If we don't
But if
know,
he
how
can
do
see,
I know what to
but this is
ask
the thing,
for?
if he or she see how it's affecting you,
That should matter.
that's
that should
unhealthy,
matter.
That
that
should
right there
matter.
should matter. And if he or she is still looking at you like, That's a problem.
Yeah,
That's a
that's so
problem.
mad.
Yes, and I believe my girlfriend Nicole is here. At least she was before we reset. Nikki, if you're still here, I appreciate that. So
I think,
I
based
think
on what you were
based on
saying,
what you were
Courtney,
saying, Courtney,
it depends
it
for
depends
me
for
on what they're
me on what
showing
they're
me.
showing me.
If they have the
If they
potential
had
to
the
change,
potential
if
to
I
change, if
say
I say
I
I
require this,
require
I
this,
know
I
that
know that
It's
you feel
difficult.
this
you
way,
feel this
but this
way,
is what
but
I
this is what I
require.
require.
And then if I
And then if I
see that they're
see that
making an
they're making an
effort to
Then
at
it
effort
least
works.
to at
address
least
my
address
And
my
concern.
that's what I'm
concerns.
saying. If they're open to that, they
Hmm. So
have to
even
be
if
open.
it's the slightest
It
effort,
gotta be more
are
than
you? It
it
got to be
gotta be
more
It
than
more
a
gotta
than
be
slight
more than a
effort.
slight
It got to be
effort.
something
It
that
gotta
I
be
you
something
notice.
that
can't
I
just keep
notice.
saying okay and don't put forth any effort to change. If they keep coming up short the same time, every time, and keep putting you back in that same space, some gotta give. Because you keep coming up here and they keep going right here.
Well, this
Right.
is
Something
this
gotta
is
give.
screaming from the bullhorn. This is how I know I changed.
Yeah.
Look,
Mm.
done and over it. I'm done and over it. I
See, you
had
take a
this.
lot.
I
You
did.
did. And there's nothing wrong with that. I always tell people, don't be afraid because I mean, don't feel bad because you're that kind of person that keeps giving chances.
Right.
Nothing wrong
Right.
with that.
I
You
changed.
just have to be with the right person that you give those chances to,
But
and they
see,
have to be
it
open and
became
decide.
a lot through laws.
Yeah,
You
heck
know,
yeah,
there
it's
was a
always
lot
gonna
of
come
people
something.
that I cared about deeply.
Yeah.
You know, so now it's like I don't want everything to end so abruptly and just like
So she's what you're
whatever.
saying
No,
is
screw
what
it.
you're
Now
saying
wait a
is
minute.
like you can't keep taking things for granted because life is too
For
short
people,
for people. But again,
James said some
James
people
says
just
some
don't
people
know
just
how
don't know
to love.
how to
And
love.
then
And then
and you can't
and you
change
can't
someone.
change
People
someone.
aren't built
People
that
aren't
way.
built
Very
that way.
good.
Very
James, I'm
good.
loving
James,
your
I'm loving
input.
your input.
As a matter of
As a
fact,
matter of fact,
I'm gonna be
I'm gonna
bold.
be
If
bold.
James, if
And
you don't
James, if you don't
mind, I
mind,
want to
I
test
want
out
to
the
test
Google
out the
Voice
Google Voice
443
443
272
272
1080.
1080.
If you don't
If
mind.
you
And
don't
my
mind. And
sister
my
Sharon
sister
is
Sharon
watching
is
with us.
watching
Hi
with us. Hi,
Sharon.
Sharon.
It says
It says
we had five
we had
people,
5 people,
but now we have
but
the
now
little
we have
kid
the
to
little
turn up
kid
the
to turn up
volume to
the
see
volume to see
what did you
how
say
we're
to the
coming.
how
voice?
we're coming.
Four four
Four
three
four three
One
two
second.
seven two 1080.
I'm texting him the number. 443-272-1080.
1080.
Mm-hmm.
I just texted him.
Relationships are give and take per Sharon Perry.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you
I
go.
agree with that, Sharon. It is a give and take. And if I say to you that
You
I
can't keep giving
require
and keep taking and
XYZ,
getting.
then you can't just change very superficially, like on very minuscule, and you can't just do it for a short period of time and then go back to the old patterns.
But I get what she just said. I like that. You can't be the one keep giving and they keep taking and they're not giving in
But I
return.
think that's I think it's not such. I think it is a blanket statement because everyone's not built the same. Everyone doesn't view love
They
the
don't.
same.
You're right.
Everyone doesn't view relationships the same. Everyone doesn't view change the same. So I might be the person that it kind of like pleases me to be the giver.
There's nothing
Hmm.
wrong with that.
Granted,
Mm-hmm.
I'd appreciate if sometimes you came through too.
Right,
See,
You know
exactly.
what
that
I'm
goes to what I
saying?
just said. You can't be the
But
one always
I
pouring
don't think
into someone and that's
I
not.
don't think anything is ever 50-50.
Oh no,
Oh
I don't
no,
believe that either.
definitely not. I
I just
agree
don't
with
I
you
think
don't
a
like
hundred
when people
percent.
say it got 50-50. It's never
It's
gonna
and
be
never
it took
that.
a
50-50.
lot of change for me to get there. It's not 50
It's
50.
It's
really
never
not.
50-50.
It's really not. I totally agree with you on that. So we want to try out the Google Voice number. If
All right.
anybody is willing to try it, call in. 443-272-1080 is our Google Voice number. Sharon says, hello, everyone. Love you, sis. I love you too, Sharon. People put expectations on love while love is patience and time. Very true, sis. That's my
That's
girlfriend Sharon.
that's good.
That is so true, sis. Tanya, thank you for joining us tonight. We're having a conversation tonight on I Know I Have Changed. The guest that we had planned, Jerome Singletary, if you guys can keep him in your prayers. He had double heart valve replacement surgery and a bypass. He's not feeling well tonight, so we moved on with a topic that we had discussed that we wanted to have before. So luckily we had a backup plan. If y'all can just send prayers, love, and light out to Jerome. And hopefully he can either come on next week or the week thereafter, because I believe I asked my girlfriend Nicole to come on next week. She's into holistic medicines and things of that nature. So now another way, what I was saying too, that's very important to me in realizing the change that and it's helped me to deal with being estranged from my daughter and my mother. And it almost made me say, well, it got to be me. But I had some traumas that I'm not willing to talk about on social network. But again, I've learned to say, you didn't protect me. You didn't show me this type of love. You didn't show me the same type. And I'm not willing to,
Mm-hmm.
at this stage of my life, I know what I deserve, and I don't accept any short. So if I'm still willing to have a relationship with you, the one thing you're not going to do is give me less than what I require. Because we through doing it your way. I have needs of my own, and it's like I can be very upfront and authentic. I had an appointment with my therapist this week, and I realized Mother's Day is triggering me.
Because it is on its way.
Because I'm estranged from my daughter, and difficulties with my mom, and because of the issues there, and everybody, please don't come on this live saying go to the whole blah blah blah. That's not everybody's scenario.
Right.
It tried to call and went into my voice because I'm not on the screen. Try me one more time. Let me try calling you back. Hold on. I believe it's James.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Oh, your friend James, right?
No, it said
Moulton.
Hold on. James Moulton. Tried to call and then went to the voicemail because I wasn't on the page. So I'm gonna call James back. It's a 706 number that I'm calling. It's because I'm not on the screen.
No, that's not his
number. That's not his number?
Mm-mm. He has a 410-908 number.
Oh, well, then I don't know who that is.
That could be anybody.
So we just gonna, I don't know who you are, so we gonna, but no, he said he just tried to call. That's the only phone call I missed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm gonna ask him.
It might not be him, but it could still be someone.
Okay, James Moulton. I'm going.
Wait a minute, hold on. Jimmy.
Was that him?
Just call.
I think that that's a difficult shift.
It really is. And like I said, I realized in my therapy appointment that I'm being triggered by Mother's Day because with everything I went through with my own mother and the lack of protections and things of that nature, it was so important to me to having a really good relationship with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So I protected like a warrior. I know I almost went to jail 3 times protecting her, literally. I gave of myself, my time, my everything. And even though I struggle with depression and things of that nature, I wouldn't even allow myself to have a quote unquote meltdown unless I knew she was okay.
I get that. Mm-hmm.
So there's a narrative that she's spinning that is untrue.
Right.
And do I want to? And I pray for her every day. But I'm not going to accept your narrative just to love on you. And at one point we were having, like, I thought we were in this good place. And later on found out that she told someone else that we weren't where we thought we were. So now I have a distrust, because even when I think things are good, you're telling me you told someone else that that wasn't the case. So how do I know when we are having an authentic, genuine relationship, and when it's bull crap madness? Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't something to me.
Nothing.
It wasn't him. Okay, so let me try. Let me try. All right, so I'm calling it again as soon as my computer let me, because I hit too many buttons at one time.
Got the happy click.
Oh, that's his work number. Didn't want to disconnect YouTube on my phone. Okay, Jimmy. Give me 1 second.
I had to cut because, like,
Oh my God, the daggone window went down.
It did. I saw it from the mirror there.
I know that.
I don't think he live.
Oh, no more.
Hold on. The browser literally just went down.
How can you tell?
Because I'm looking at my computer.
No, I'm asking.
Because I saw it change too. Because she got it. Whatever she has there is coming up here.
Oh, okay.
The devil is busy, y'all. This is how I know we are supposed to do this, because we was moving right along.
Yes, sir. We're going to keep on talking.
Oh, we can get our people. Lisa's watching. I can hear you. Oh, okay, you can hear me, sis. That's good. Give me a second. I'm bringing up the browser window so that we can keep going. Evidently, she can hear me.
They can still hear us, but they can't see us.
That's good. That's excellent, because I was afraid that we had lost the connection altogether.
It might be the camera.
No, it's the internet in this area, but at the same time, it's better because before we would have lost everything. So we're gonna keep talking through while I'm waiting for the computer screen to come up. Lisa, Sharon says she can see as well, and Lisa says she can see, so
that's
she
good.
can see
so
y'all.
We can see us.
It's probably just me that can't be seen. So that's good. That's good, because y'all were talking. Thank y'all for the input. I appreciate y'all so much. We are getting better each week. I'm fighting. I can't do anything about the internet service, but I just feel like the messages are too important to not go forth with it. So
I have actually been there with my daughter. Like, it took a long time to regain a relationship because of the choices that I made, what I've been through. I was away from her again, incarcerated, and she was old enough to be aware of what was going on. Okay. And it took a long time for her to forgive me.
Okay.
It took a long time. And it was like a beating emotionally because she didn't care about how she expressed herself, how it made me feel. And at that point, I had to understand. I kind of, because I'm that person, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't quit because I'm not giving this up. This is it. This is my only child.
And I feel the same way. I had one too, but in my situation, because I know, because I even went back to some of my friends, and and they told me, you didn't do anything wrong. Like, if anything, you did too much. And maybe that's it. Maybe I did too much, but because I wanted to give everything that I never had.
But it's not even about blaming yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because even in my situation, when I didn't do enough, it wasn't about me blaming myself. It was just about the fact that I'm adamant. I want to have a relationship with my child, whether she wants it or not. You know what I mean?
Right, I got
but I had to kind of fall back and learn how to have her space. She was not, kids, young people,
Mm-hmm.
they
She was
not
much
nice
younger.
all the time.
Yeah, she was much younger.
No, no, no.
She was older. Oh, even older?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You said no.
Yeah. So it took a long time.
Mm-hmm.
My child had to be well into her late teens.
Mm-hmm.
When she would call me, it was, oh, I need this, or I need that, and I need this, and I need that. And I found myself saying yes, even though I couldn't do it for real. And eventually I said I have to forgive myself for falling short.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that that's
right.
that's
No,
your
I think
situation.
no,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, she got no feelings. Oh, it got ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't want to talk to me for a while. And then one day I got the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, mommy, just calling to see how you doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so do you need something? Like, what's going on? You
Right.
okay?
Right.
No, I just haven't talked to you, so I was just checking on. Girl, I could have passed out.
Sharon Perry said, good for you. There are a lot of parents that don't care what their children are doing, and too many kids having babies. I agree with that. In my situation, it's not a matter of not caring. It's a matter of, because I've gone through so much, that
I totally understand
that I can't let somebody's false narrative become my story.
Right.
And I can't, just because you convince yourself of certain things, I can't let that become my story. Now we could sit down, I'm willing to sit down and talk and have the hard conversations, but they're going to be just that, hard conversations. Like, you're not going to put something on me that's not mine to carry, because some things aren't my burden. And when I prayed about it, when I go into my prayer closet, God says, I have a work to do in her. And to take my hands off of it, even though it affects me, it kills me. I'm not even gonna lie. I've spent many a night falling down walls crying. And that's just being as authentic and genuine as I can be. But when he said, that's because technically, and this is something I used to tell her when she was growing up, you're not my child. You're God's child.
Amen.
I'm babysitting you for God. When you disobey me, you're disobeying the message that God gave me to get to you. So when he tells me that he has a work to do in her, and I have to take my hands off of it, as much as I want to go running, I have to be obedient. And it's hard. That's my one and only. I would lay down my last breath.
Do you feel like you'll ever change in that? Like, as far as the dynamic of that?
I can only pray on it.
Okay.
Because it's not my battle. Let go and let God. Thanks, Sharon. I can only pray on it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I can only pray on it and be obedient to what he gives me when I pray about it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, do I still pray for her? Yes. Do I still love her? Yes.
It's a mother's love. You can't. That
it's
won't
just
change.
Like her, the way she's parenting her in that situation is pretty much the same, but a little bit different. You allow your daughter to be in her be in that space,
but she was more forgiving, and I'm thankful that I didn't have those other influences,
right?
That was feeding her something else versus. Because what I was doing was more than enough.
Right, exactly.
And, my daughter looked at me one day and was like, I don't like you anymore.
Oh, wow. Now, when she said that to you, how did you receive that, and where was it coming from?
I was telling her about my sexual preference. I was currently still incarcerated at the time. She's been through a lot. Just me being her mother alone. And when I told her, she was like, I don't like you anymore. And we sat there in silence for probably about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, you hurt my feelings, but it's okay. I understand. 20 minutes later, Mommy, I like you again. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? But we all have different
it's different scenarios, and because of what I'm willing to share and what I'm not, some people may understand and some people may not. Again, that's not my fault to bear. Right. That's how I know I've changed. I don't feel the need to explain it.
There you go.
I don't feel the need to explain it. I know. And I know that I've done all that I can. I've done the best that I can. And what God has told me when I go into my prayer closet, which is He has work to do in her.
You know what? Because she's not willing to. She's not open to receive and hear to understand. I always tell people, listen to understand, not listen to react all the time. Respond. That's what I listen to. Understand. It's not about making you wrong. About how you're feeling. It's not about you making me wrong for how I'm feeling.
Right.
That's just like when I talk to my kids about. So my children about certain things, they're older. They may not be really ready to receive, but I know they need to hear it. And I will say to them, I'm not going to tell you anything to make you feel less than or that's not going to help you. It's my job to do that. I'm your mother. I'm supposed to tell you that what you do with that information, totally up to you. But you can never say
that I didn't
tell you.
Right.
So listen to understand that it's coming from a place of love, not a place of hurt, or I'm trying to hurt you.
Right.
Or make you feel less than, or tell you that you're not good. It's none of the above. It's always from a place of love. How you choose to deal with the information moving forward, your choice.
And that's what I got.
That's what I do.
And that's what I was saying when I said I can't make people love me. I can't make exactly. All I can do is be the best Wanda I can be. And if you know me, you know that I'll do anything for anybody until you burn me. Like everybody starts off at 100% with me.
Hello.
Now,
if you have an A, it's up to you to keep
that. Exactly. Everybody starts 100%. Off. Yes, exactly. Everybody starts off with 100%. Now, if you do something that causes me not to feel safe in giving you that 100%, that's on you. And then when you notice, and I'm also, I know I've changed because I no longer match energy. I don't just do, like, I'm not going to just because you acting that way, I'm going to act this way. I'm not going to let anybody lower my spiritual vibration. So I'm not matching your energy. If you start moving shifty, I'm going to move right on out your way. I can ignore you so hard you forget you exist yourself.
That's where I probably need to grow, because my thing is I treat people accordingly.
Sharon said, listen to understand. She likes that phrase. And that's my Sharon. And your Sharon said, amen. Amen. So yeah, that's and it's hard to get to that point.
It takes a lot of growing pains.
I consider my growing pains is unlearning what was years of the norm, if that makes sense. You know, what we grew up with. Now I hold on to a lot of the stuff that we grew up with because that never gets old for me. You know, but I've learned, I know I've changed because now I have to unlearn a lot of things in how you say, but I'll give you a short version of when you're young, like I let my kids, I know I've changed because of the way I've raised my kids, and you can relate to that too. And when they are interested in someone, I mean, they're excited about it, I support that because I want them to always have space to come to me when situations go left. You know what I'm saying? And try to be there and uplift them at the same time. When I was growing up, my mom, my mom was very strict and stern. She didn't cut there was no shortcuts around it. She said exactly how it is, what it was going to be. That's it. That's all. Not that love don't exist, because we knew what that looked like because we seen our parents together. But she's like, guys out here, they only gonna want one thing, and y'all know what I'm going with that. But she was very strict and stern. Okay. With that, when I thought I loved this person, the phrase was that you don't know what love is. That ain't love. That's just puppy love. I was offended. Okay. Because I was like, wait a minute. I'm happy about my first boyfriend and I love this person. That ain't. My mother went into protective mode and constantly protecting and shielding us because she was a single parent because our father died when we were very young. Okay. So in her mind, it's like, no, I got to keep you safe and grounded, even though that is cute and all, but no. Okay. So James said Proverbs 3. Wait a minute. What James? James, you're James. Okay. Said Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in God and lean not on your own understanding. You have built that foundation and invested in them when they were young, and it's their conscience. He has them. Exactly, James. And that's what I had to learn. Like, I don't understand why I have to be separated. It kills me as a mom. Like, I always wanted this relationship. I always wanted to be the best mommy ever. And you are. And thank you. I definitely try. You are. She is too. Because you could have made it. Yeah, you did the best that you. We all. And it was all coming from a place of love. If she's not ready to receive it for her own. That's not even it. It's her own pain. Whatever she's struggling with. Do our best. Yes. With what tools we were given. And that goes to what I was saying about that. When my kids say they love, I love my first boy, or my son, my first, whatever it is that they're hyped about, I support that. And when my mom was like, no, I ain't supporting that. That ain't, cut the crap. That ain't what it is. It ain't what you think it is. It was always a lesson because of the way she grew up. She was on her own. She didn't have time. She didn't have the relationship that. She's still connected. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She didn't have the relationship. Well, I don't see you anymore. Right. Oh, I'm trying. Okay. She didn't have the type of relationship that my son and daughter had with me, that she actually had with them, because. But I think it changed, you know what I mean? It did. But even still, like, because the situation that Wanda is having right now is all of our situations are completely different. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I mean? For me, feeling like I feel like I failed my child. And I don't feel that. Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's different. Yeah, I get it. Completely different. Completely different. I agree with that. So I did my best to dig my heels in and look. I just want that relationship. I want that relationship. I want that relationship. I want that relationship. And my mom's relationship wasn't broken. But her and her husband's relationship was broken. Because my dad, you had a different situation. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you did all that you could. Now, this is not to crucify, because I had, like I said, when I had to say to her, no. Wow. You all, no, I'm not doing it. And again, it's a complete place of guilt. Exactly. And I don't feel like that was me standing up. Right. And in my case, you standing up. Exactly, because there were a lot of things like I could have job that I made excellent money. Verizon. The money was excellent, but Verizon literally will drive you crazy. Like, and I'm dead serious. Like, when
you have a state of emergency in the wintertime and they're saying everybody stay off the roads and you can get tickets and everything because driving on the road. I had to be there and on time.
At
At
Verizon?
Verizon. Like, so even though you get paid very well, they torture you for that money as far as I'm concerned. And then it got to the point where I was having migraines. Okay, you can see me now. Thank you. That's my sharing. It got to the point that I was having migraines, and if you said the word Verizon, I was getting sick. So when it started affecting my health, I had to, and it started affecting my mental health. That's when I first got diagnosed with my depression, and I almost snapped. Like, it, I snapped. I got locked outside the building one day, and this one lady, that we could see each other in the building, speak and everything, and she wouldn't let me back in the building because I had forgot my thing. Like, she didn't know my key fob, right? And I was literally about to punch the woman in her head. And I know that I'm not a violent type person, you know, but thankfully somebody caught my hand. Because I was in mid-swing. I was in mid-swing. Hi, Kay. Thank you for joining. But I was just, because of my childhood traumas and everything, I had so much built up in me. I was triggered, and that's how it came out. And I ended up being off work for like 9 months after that incident.
Wow.
Because I was literally in 2003. I'll never forget it. I that was my first experience in being diagnosed with something. And rage was one of my diagnoses. But
no, I ain't never.
See, that's why I say let sleeping dogs lie, because the beast is sleep. You know, that Tamika is a mofo. That alter ego is something else. I'm here to tell you. That's why I try to stay on an even keel. I try not to let anyone upset me, because when I go off, as nice and sweet as I am, there's another side to me that I don't even like.
And I feel like you had the right to stand up and just say, no, I've had enough.
Exactly. And that's where I'm at.
I know I've changed, because whereas though I would tolerate a lot of stuff from family members because I thought I had to because they were family. I don't do that.
Oh, I got our names backwards. As y'all can see, I got my name under Courtney and Sean, and got their name under mine. Sharon Perry said my other side name is her. I know that's right. And then my Sharon said some of our kids can't expect their parents. Wait a minute, let me pull this cord. Let me go back here. She says some of our kids can't expect their parents with being in love with someone because their first love is their mama's. It doesn't always have to do with anything we did wrong. That's true, because one of my girlfriends said to me that when I got into the relationship with my mate, we've been together for 12 years now, but it was always me and my daughter against the world. And some people have said to me that there's a jealousy thing that mommy, like, she loves having, but she loves him. Like, she calls him stepdad and everything. So she loves having that father figure, but I'm supposed to belong to her. Now, again, I can't speak for her. Let me put the disclaimer out there. I can't speak for her. I'm only going on what I feel, what's been said, and things of that nature. But yeah, it's difficult. You know, it's a difficult situation to be in. And I just realized that Mother's Day is triggering me. So because I'm the person that loves to get the perfect card. And I was even saying, do I want to give my mother a card, send her a card for Mother's Day?
Do you want to?
Right. This is the thing. Part of me does, just out of respect because she's my mother. And that's that part that people pleaser.
But the other
But the
part of
other
me is
part of
like,
me is like,
you reached out
you
to her
reached
on
out
this
to her on this
occasion. You
occasion.
expressed
You expressed
deeply
deeply
and with
and with
sincerity, and you
sincerity,
really
and you
dove into
really
how
dove
you
into how
felt.
you felt.
She chose not
She
to
chose not to
respond. And by
respond.
the time
And
she
by the
did
time she did
respond, you were
respond,
over
you were
wanting
over
a
wanting a
response.
response.
So it's like,
So
am
it's
I
like, am I
trying for a
trying for
response?
a
Like
response?
I'm
Like
really
I'm really
analyzing what I'm
analyzing what
doing
I'm
here.
Be
Well,
doing
careful with
here.
that
yeah, they say be
because
careful.
I
Hmm.
look. That's look looking for that reassurance and that
Because there's a little
Because there's a
girl
little
named
girl
Wanda that
named Wanda
always
that
wants her
always wants
mommy,
and
her
then it
that
mommy,
becomes
wants the
that wants
mommy
the
that she
mommy that
didn't
she
have.
didn't
you
have.
don't
So
want to.
I'm very
I'm very
self-aware,
self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
so
So
I think that if you want to send her the card because that's your mom, and I don't expect that you still because you love her, that's fine. Wait for her. I mean, she doesn't know how. Maybe she's still struggling
right.
with
I've even
what she has
I've
allowed to take place. If that makes sense, or she
it
does
does
not know how.
how to love
In
me
that
in
doesn't mean
that
she
space.
don't.
It doesn't mean that she doesn't, but she doesn't know how to love me the way I
And the way
want
you
and the way
seem
she
to be,
sees
the way
the way
exactly.
So
Because
the
because I've
real
even
real
asked
question
her.
question
is,
is, go ahead.
have you changed enough to, okay, I really want to send this card because this might be the last card I ever get to send,
And that's what
And that's what
and still be okay with that.
that's it. And that's what
and
I'm
that's
trying to
trying to
decipher.
decipher.
There you
I'm
That's
go.
what
in
I'm
thought
in
because
thought
it's
Hmm.
like
because it's like,
if I
if I
send,
sin,
can I send
can
it
I
and not
send it and not
care if I
care
get a
if I get a
response or not,
response
or if
or
it's the
not, or if
type of
it's the
response
type of
that I want?
response
I
that I
don't
want? I
know,
don't
but it's like
know, but it's like
I'm
I'm
analyzing all of
analyzing
that because
all of that
even
because
picking out
even
the
picking out
card,
the
it's
card,
hard for
it's
me.
hard for
Because when
me
you go
because
to
when you
pick
go
out the
to pick
cards, it's
out the
all these
cards, it's all
flowery
these
and these
flowery and
pretty,
these
perfect.
pretty, these
That's not how
perfect.
it
That's
You
not
should
how
is.
it
be a
is.
basic card.
And it's
No,
going to
and
be a
it's gonna
basic
be a
card because I
basic
see
card because I
cards that
seen
reflect
cards
the
that reflect the
relationship that I
relationship that I
have. So
have.
the fact
So
that
the
it's going to
fact
be a
that it's gonna be a
bland
bland
card,
card,
it's
it's
depressing to me.
depressing to
So
me.
even
So
going out to
even
pick
going
out
out
her
to pick out her
card just to
card
show
just to
respect
show
because you
respect
are my
because you are
mother,
my mother,
it's depressing
it's
to me because
depressing to me because
unfortunately I don't
unfortunately
have a
I don't have the
relationship where I
relationship
can
where
send
I
one of
can
those
send one
nice
of those
flowery
nice
cards and I'm
flowery
not a
cards and I'm
phony
not a
person.
phony person.
My Sharon
My
says
Sharon
break that
says break that
generational curse
generational
and send
curse and
mom's
send
card
mom's card
and God
and
and
God
good
and
will
good will
don't let it
don't
stop
let
your
it stop
blessings.
your
Honor thy
blessings.
mother
Honor thy
and thy
mother and
father
thy
and your
Hello.
father
days
and
will
your
be
days
long.
will be long.
Exactly.
Exactly. I agree.
I
But
do
I
honor
do
them.
honor
I
her.
do give
I
her
do give her
respect,
respect.
but
But
sometimes again,
sometimes,
I
again,
don't
I
have to
don't have to
accept
accept
the
the
way
way
she loves
she
me
loves
because it's
because
not what
it's not what
it
I
doesn't
it
feel good
doesn't feel good
and it's not
and
what
it's
I
not what I
need from her.
need
And I've
from her. And I
expressed
express
that's what I was saying
that's
you
what I was
to
saying
like when
to
we were
like
talking
when we were
before.
talking
I've
before. I've
expressed what I
expressed what
need
I need
explicitly,
explicitly,
and you've made
and
no
you've made no
changes to give
changes
me
to give
that.
me that.
So if you
So
can't
if you
respect
can't
me as
respect
your
me as your
daughter,
daughter,
like you respect her. Like
like
I
like
respect
I
her as my
respect her
mother
as my
because with
mother because with
the things that
the
have
things
happened
that
to
have
me,
happened to me,
it's a
it's a
blessing that I
blessing
still
that I
want the
still want the
relationship.
relationship.
This is the thing, and this is where I stand with things like that, which is why I continue to move forward in spite of the way that whoever it is that I love treats me. I've lost so many people that I
Right.
cared so much about, and I try to keep in mind when they're gone,
Mhm.
I'm still here, and I'm left with, dang, maybe I could have reached out much more.
But you know what? Where I differ
But that's just the thought that I had.
in your head,
And
exactly.
I feel it here in my heart. And so, like, even with my parents, I don't want to say it, but parents, no matter what we go through, and no matter how hurt or painful it is right now, I
Mhm.
have to keep asking myself, when they're gone, will any of this matter? Because now I'm left with
Mhm.
feeling like maybe I could have.
And because
And
all of our
because all of
stories
our
are
stories are
different,
different,
I
I
and God
and
forbid
God
some people
forbid,
will
some people will
understand this, others
understand
will
this,
be like,
others
how
will
can
be
you
like, "How
say
can
that?
she say that?"
No, say
But
it first.
But
when I made
when
the
I made the
decision to
decision to
detach
detach
from the
from the
toxicity
Mm-hmm.
toxicity
of my mother
of my
and my
mother
daughter
and my
because I
daughter, because
don't
I
have to
don't have
accept
to accept
disrespect
disrespect
Mm-hmm.
and love that's not serving me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When I made the
When I
decision
made
to
the decision to
detach,
detach,
I had mental
I had mental
funerals.
funerals.
So, and I
So,
had
and
to
I had to
accept
accept
that it's
that it's
possible,
possible,
especially with my mother
especially with
being
my
in
mother being in
age,
age,
that she could
that
die
she
in
could
the
die in the
physical.
physical.
Mm-hmm.
And I've made
And I've
myself
made
okay
myself
with that.
okay with that.
That's serious.
And when I
And
say I'm
when I
very
say I'm very
self-aware,
self-aware,
and it's not
and it's not
easy,
easy,
Mm-hmm.
but
but
nobody knows my
nobody
story.
knows
They
my
only know
story.
the
They
parts
only
I
know the
choose
parts
to
I choose
tell.
to
Right.
tell.
And I'm
And
not putting
I'm
all
not
my
putting
business
all
on
my business
Facebook.
on
You
Facebook.
know
Of
what?
course.
Let me
But
go ahead.
real quick, the only reason I say that is because I'm trying to come from a place of a friend.
Yeah, no,
And
I
Yeah, no, I got you. No,
I
definitely.
know what it is to leave things
Said.
unsaid.
I'm not
Unsaid,
going to say.
undone. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's all I'm saying.
No, but
But
No,
I
but
see,
and
I
that's
trust
yeah.
but
because
that's why,
But I feel
we
no
talk,
guilt.
and
yeah,
I
I
get
feel
Yeah, I
no
it.
feel
guilt
no
because
guilt
I've
because I've said it.
I've said,
I've said,
I've said
I've
it.
said it.
Like
Like
around the
around the
holidays, I wrote
holidays,
this
I wrote this
long.
long.
First of all, during
First
the
of all,
summer,
during the
I had
summer,
a
I had
3-hour
a 3-hour
conversation,
conversation,
hard
hard
conversation with my mom,
conversation with my mom.
and
And
exactly, and
exactly.
then
And
I
then
tried
I
again
tried
around
again
Christmas
around
and
Christmas and
Thanksgiving,
You did the
Thanksgiving.
same
and
result.
And
so
so
when I'm
when
putting it
I'm
out there,
putting it
and
out
this,
there, and just
I almost said
I
too
almost
much.
said too
When
much.
I'm putting it
When
out
I'm
there, what
putting it
I
out there, what I
need
need
from
That's what
you,
I
from
had
you,
to
and at
say.
some
at
point you got
some
to
point
stand, you got to show
you gotta
me that
show
I
me that
matter.
I matter.
That's
I
it.
show
I
you that
show
you
you that
matter, but
you
at some
matter,
point
but
you
at
got to
some
show
point you
me
got
that
to
I
show me that
matter
I
as your
matter as
daughter,
your daughter,
and stop putting
and
other
stop
people
putting
in
other
front of
people in
me.
front of me.
You know,
You know,
and
and
now I'm an
now
adult,
I'm an
so
adult,
that's
so
why,
that's
and
why,
because of the
and because of
level,
the
I've gone
level,
through
I've
different
gone through
kinds of
different kinds of
abuse
abuse
and
and
disrespect
disrespect
and
and
disloyalty.
disloyalty.
So that's why
So
I
that's
can't
why I
accept the
can't
false
accept the
narrative
false
from my
narrative
child
from
because I
my
worked
child
too
because I work
hard
too
Get where
hard
you are
to
now.
break the
to break the
generational
generational
curses.
curses.
So yeah,
So
I
yeah,
worked too
I
hard
worked
for
too
us not
hard for
to
us
be
not
this
to
way,
be this way,
for us to
for
be
us
this
to be
way.
this way.
And it was
So
making you
So
sick.
and it was
and it
making
was
me sick.
making
So
me sick.
anything
Exactly.
that's going to affect you physically, mentally, and emotionally, you have to step away.
Mm-hmm.
If it means I have to love you from a distance, then that's the way it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I want it that way, you don't want it that way.
Exactly. I
You don't want
definitely
it.
don't
You don't
want it
want
that
it that
way.
way. God knows your heart. He knows what you want.
Exactly. But when I
Exactly. But when I
I
pray,
have a
is I
work
have
to
a
do
work to
in
do in
her. It
her.
comes
It
to me
And you
comes
have
to
to
as
take
me
your
as
clear,
hands off of
clear,
it.
and I have to
and I
take
have
my
to take
hands
my
off of
hands
it.
off of
And
it.
that's
And that's
That's
it
deep.
really
it
hurts
really
because
hurts because
we have a
we have a
mutual friend that
mutual
lost
friend
her
that lost her
daughter over the
daughter over the
summertime.
summertime,
And I felt
and I felt
guilty for
guilty for
mentally having a
mentally
funeral
having
for
a
mine
funeral
when
for
she had
mine when
literally
she had
just lost
literally just
her.
lost
And she
her.
and I
And
had
she and
that
I had
talk.
that
And
talk.
I said,
And I said,
I feel
I
bad.
feel bad.
Someone wronged
Someone
me.
wronged me.
Let me put my
Let me
glasses
put my
on,
glasses
Sharon. Yes,
on,
Sharon.
Sharon. Yes, Sharon.
Someone wronged me
Someone
one
wronged me
time
one
too many.
time
I'm
too
out of
many.
their
I'm
lives.
out of their lives.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly, Sharon.
Exactly,
And I've
Sharon.
gotten
And
to the
I've gotten to
point
the
that it
point
doesn't
that
matter
it
who
doesn't
it
matter
is
who it is
That's it.
because
because I've hurt.
I say that I
Say
spent
that
the
I
first
spent
50
the first
years of
50
my life
years of my
in
life in
turmoil.
turmoil.
The next
The
half of
next
history
half
is
We
of
here.
history
mine.
is mine.
We're here.
Okay? I'm
Okay?
gonna
I'm
live,
gonna
I'm
live.
gonna
I'm
love,
gonna
I'm gonna
love.
laugh,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
live.
was
I'm gonna
travel.
travel.
and no shade or nothing against this one here, because I understand I was where you are now. I'm where you at. That's how I know I've changed. When I'm 56, everything was cut. It's like
Right.
everything
Right.
just snapped off.
I have to
I
protect
have to
my
protect
peace.
my
And
I
peace.
work
I
hard
work
for
hard
peace.
for
don't mean I
peace.
don't love you. Don't mean that I
Exactly.
won't care for
Exactly.
you. But I'm not going to slight myself for
For
you
you.
For you.
any longer, because I've done it
Exactly.
for 50
Exactly.
something years, and this is what. And I got nothing. I have nothing to show for that. Those 56 years, I have nothing from you to show.
We hear,
So
boo.
now I'm no
He
longer
boo.
doing that.
We hear.
I'm not.
That's
That's
how
how
I
I
know
know
I
And
have
you can
because
take it
peace
any way
because
you want, because if it interferes with me emotionally, mentally, and physically,
physically or
physically or
spiritually.
that's not
spiritually.
all of that. All of the above.
Exactly.
I can't function. So if you
Exactly.
don't care
Exactly.
enough for me to know that what your behavior, how it's affecting me for 50 something years plus, I'm gonna have to cut you off.
And it's like,
And it's
Cut
like,
you keep you at a distance
yeah,
to
yeah.
save
So they
myself, because I need,
exactly.
because I'm all I have.
Exactly. So that's
exactly.
how
So
I
that's
know
how
I've
I know
changed
I've changed
because
because
I've learned to
I've learned to
prioritize
prioritize
Wanda
Wanda
despite
despite
wanting that
wanting that
relationship with my
relationship with my
child,
child,
despite wanting
despite
that
wanting
relationship
that
with my
relationship with
mother.
my mother.
They're not
They're not
pouring into me
pouring
what I
into
pour
me what
out
I
to
pour out
them.
to them.
And you
Yeah,
don't do
And you
that in
don't do
that's the
that in
certain
same with your
certain
relationships.
right.
right.
Whether it's a female, if you're involved with a man, and
Mhm.
vice versa, or a man involved with a woman, I'm not going to keep pouring into you because I've done that.
Right.
Right.
Pouring into you, and I have nothing to show for it. All I have is time, years and time that I've invested in something that did not take the initiative to invest in me. So
Mhm.
I
Exactly.
I
had
think y'all just learned me something because hold on.
Jane said exactly, Sean. You have to prioritize
Yeah,
yourself.
and I'm still learning to do that. And I had
Right.
to put on, I had and be open to allow the people that do love me and care for me to be that um positive influence in my life. And because
Mhm.
I was always by myself.
Mhm.
Why you don't call? I'm all because I've never had anyone to cover me. So now that
Mhm.
I have people now in my life that covers me,
Right.
whether it's my
Right.
cousins, a best friend, they cover me because I cover them.
And you know what
And you
I've
know what
done?
I've done?
Because family is
Because
not
family
always
isn't
blood.
always blood.
I've
Mm.
I've
created my
created
own
my own
family. Like my
family. Like
Sharon
my
that's family,
Sharon
that's
that's
my
right here, that's my
sister.
My
sister.
God
Sharon,
was
God was
my
my cousin
my
Judy on there, and
exactly.
here.
exactly.
I've
I've
learned
learned
God will
God
send you.
will
My
send
best
you.
He
My
friend's
puts
best
people in
mom
your
friend's
life for a
mom
is my
reason.
mother.
is
When
my
you
mother.
see
When you
me,
see
you
me,
always talk
you
about how
always talk about
graceful
how
I am.
graceful I am.
I
I
emulate Miss
emulate
Christine
Miss
Bland. That's my
Bland.
best
That's my
friend's
best
mom.
friend's mom.
And she's the
And
one who
she's the one
taught
who
me
taught me
how to
how to
love and how
love
to
and how
carry
to
myself.
carry
And
myself. And
yeah,
yeah,
mommy, yes, I
mommy,
love
yes,
you.
I love you.
She gave to you what your mom could not give to
Exactly.
you.
She gave
Exactly.
me the
She gave
nurture.
me
And
the
I
nurture.
give
And
my
I
mother
give my
grace.
mother
Like
grace.
I
Like
even
I
asked
even
her,
asked
have
her,
you
have
gone through
you gone through
something
something
that
that
keeps you from
keeps you
loving
from
me this
loving me
way?
this
Or did you
way? Or
go
did
through what
you
you
go through what
allowed
you
me to go
allowed me to
through?
go through?
Sometimes it's difficult for them to even say that because it's still the ego getting in the
Or
way.
haven't even
My
acknowledged
My
Sharon
it.
Sharon said, at a
in your
certain
life,
point in
you
your
just
life,
don't
you
have
just don't have
time for the
time for
fight
the
or the
fight or the
baggage
baggage
anymore.
anymore.
Live and let
Live
it.
and let
And that's where
and
I'm at.
that's where I'm at.
I've
I've
tried. Like I said,
tried.
the
Like I
first
said, the
50
first
years,
50 years,
I was a
I
people
was a people
pleaser. I
pleaser.
was trying
I
to
was trying
mend
to
broken
mend broken
relationships that I didn't
relationships that
break.
I didn't break.
I was
I was
struggling.
struggling.
You know,
You know,
this
this
now,
now,
it's all about
it's all
Wanda.
about Wanda.
And I'm not
And
a
I'm not
selfish
a
type
selfish type
person,
person,
but
but
it's
it's
all
just
about
all
Wanda
about
at this
Wanda
point
at this
because I
point
have
because I
given
have
all
given
that I
all
am
that I am
willing to
willing
give.
to
And
give.
it's just like
And it's just
if
like
I was in a
if I was in a
relationship with a man,
relationship with a
well, I
man,
am in a
well, I
relationship
am in
with
a
a man.
relationship with a man.
But just
But
like
just like
in
in
my
my
relationship with
relationships
men,
with men,
I had to put the
I had
same
to put the same
stipulation on
stipulation
my
on my
family
family
that I put in my
that I put in
relationship
my
with men.
relationship with men.
I take and
I
I take.
take and I
Some people
take.
might
Some
think
people
I
might
take to
think
the
I
point I
take to
look
the point I look
stupid.
stupid.
But once I
But
walk
once I
away,
walk away,
I can do it
I
in
can do it in
peace
peace
because I've
because
taken
I've
all that
taken
I
all that I
can and
can
all that
and
I'm
all that
willing
I'm
to
willing
take.
to take.
So once
So
I walk
once
away,
I
I give
walk
you
away, I
every
give you
chance,
every chance,
Mm.
every chance.
every
I'll give you
chance.
multiple chances.
But yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think that what I have just realized listening to both of y'all, just when I thought I had figured it out, I still I still relate from a place of guilt. Like I feel like people have gotten hurt. You know, I've done so many things
Oh, I get it.
and I've
Yeah.
changed. And I think now it's like I'm trying to
Make up.
spend my energy so busy not hurting people, regardless of
mhm,
how they
Hurt you.
how they
Mm-hmm.
hurt me. So I'm still living from a place of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
And
mhm.
Jimmy,
even though they
Jimmy,
don't have a thing, they don't have a single thing to
Nope.
do with
You know
it.
I kept
Jimmy
saying
always
Jimmy. Oh, wait a minute.
said
Jimmy
to me
just said
that it's
to
not
me that it's
selfish
not
to love you.
selfish to
Thank you
love
for
you.
that,
Thank you
Jimmy.
for
I
that, Jimmy. I
appreciate that.
appreciate that.
you remember I always tell you you have to start um giving yourself grace
Hmm.
and
You have
popping
to
your
You
own
extend
have to
grace
college.
and
extend that
mercy
grace
to
and
them.
mercy to them.
Awesome. You are
Awesome. You
freaking
are freaking
Think
amazing.
about where
amazing.
you all that you have come went
Yes,
through and
Yes,
come out of to even be
I
sitting
brag
here.
on you.
I
I
brag on you
brag
all
on
the
you.
time.
Courtney, I brag on yes. Oh.
And I'm trying to get her to see what I see because she knows. I said, look, you already know the answer. When we be having conversations, you already know what to do. Why are you doing that?
But you know, at some point in
And
life,
I get it.
you develop a
Yeah,
conscience, and you still reflect and remember some of the things that you've done, or some of the
yeah,
things that you've been a
but you
part
gotta
of
remember that
in
you've done
life.
those things for a
I've
child.
no, not quite.
It doesn't matter. It started as a child. You get what I'm saying? And even in those
And
times,
because I've
and
changed,
those challenges that you went through, right, wrong, and indifferent, it started when you were a child. That affected you as a
Right.
child. That affected you in those challenges. But why those things happen?
it's cool because I'm having an aha moment.
Thank you.
Like,
Amen. This,
You know what,
but you know what,
y'all?
y'all? Because
We
we
said that
said that this
this podcast
podcast
was
today
meant
was
to
meant
be
to
like we
But I
be
got
started
a
like we
off
question.
with some
started off with
technical
some technical
difficulties,
difficulties,
but it was
but it was
definitely meant to be,
definitely
and I
meant to
feel
be,
like
and I
we
feel like
are
we are
healing some
healing
people.
some people.
I think I'm
I
gonna
think I'm
try
gonna
to.
try
Hey,
to.
I think I'm
I
gonna
think I'm
try
gonna try
to
to
do the
do
voice
the
thing again.
voice thing
James, I'm
again.
gonna
James,
try to
I'm gonna
call
try to
you,
call you,
and let's hope it
and let's
doesn't
hope
mess
it
up the
doesn't
I'm
mess
getting
up
ready
the
computer.
to leave this
computer.
house.
look, it's night. Good night,
Yeah,
people.
Yeah,
I know,
I
right?
know, right?
Is it
Is it
calling?
calling?
I'm letting them know that you're supposed to be calling.
Yeah, I'm having an
Okay.
aha
Okay.
moment.
I love it though.
Good evening,
Good
James. How
evening,
are
James. How
you?
are you?
Hello, can you
Hello,
hear
can you hear me?
me? James?
James.
Okay.
Okay.
So good
So
evening.
good
I'm trying to
evening. I'm
block
trying
out
to
the
block out the
echo.
echo.
Hold on one
Hold
second.
on one second.
I might have to
I
put my
might have to put my
earplugs in.
earbuds in.
There's a
There's
delay.
a
Okay.
delay.
Bear
Okay.
with me one
Bear with me
second.
1 second.
I am just because it's annoying.
All right. So what
All
I'm
right.
going
So
to
what I'm
do
gonna
while
do
you're
while you're
talking, I'm going to
talking,
turn
I'm
the
gonna
volume
turn the
down
volume down
some.
some.
But
But
I want to
I
thank
want
you
to thank you
for.
for.
Okay.
Okay,
You know what? I'm
you
going
know
to
what?
hang up.
I'm
I
gonna
don't want
hang
this
up.
to
I don't
mess
want
up,
this
and I
to
think
mess
it's
up, and I
giving too
think
Oh,
it's
much of
I'm
an
giving
gonna
too much
call
echo.
of an
you.
echo.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Okay.
call you.
Sharon is
Sean
calling
is
you on
gonna
the
call you
phone.
on the phone.
Hey, don't just put it
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy,
Sean is going to
Sean
call
is
you on
gonna
the
call you
phone.
on
The
the
phone
phone. The
number that
phone number that
he was calling
he was calling
from.
What
from.
is it?
Let me mute this
Let me
again.
mute this
Okay, the
again.
phone
Okay,
number
the
he was
phone number he
calling
was
from is,
calling
oh,
from
I
is.
can't
Oh,
say
I
that
can't
out
say
loud.
that
Let me
out
put it
loud.
in the
Let me put
phone.
it in the phone.
I was getting ready to
I was
say the
getting ready to
phone
say
number,
the phone number,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
I had to think
I had to
about
think
that.
about that.
I was about to give
I was
all
about to
your
give all
business
your
out.
business out.
aha moment.
And then
And then
Sean is going to put
Sean
you
is
on
gonna put you on
speaker.
speaker.
He like,
Look, I had to think about it, Jimmy.
I'm gonna read these questions. Hey, Jim.
What's going on, babe?
I'm glad y'all participating. That was cool. I'm gonna call Sharon. Sharon's still on?
I think Sharon is still on here. She hasn't commented in a minute, but she hasn't commented in a minute. But I think she said the last comment she had was someone wronged me one time too many, and I'm out of their lives.
And I
And
get
I
that. Like
get that.
I'm
Like
at a point
I'm at a
now
point now
that I
that
protect
I protect
Wanda because
Wanda because
nobody else is going to
nobody
do
else
it
is
if
gonna
I
do it if
don't.
I don't.
I mean,
I mean, and
Eric is a
Eric is a
blessing because he
blessing
is so
because he is so
protective over
protective
me.
over
mm-hmm.
He
me.
is so
He
very
Sharon,
is so
You
protective
very
feel
over
too
me.
protective over
okay,
safe.
I'm
I
gonna
feel
merge
I
very
all
feel
of
safe.
them.
very safe.
You feel
Exactly.
safe.
I feel very
I feel
safe with
very
him.
I
safe
did
with
show
But
you
him.
y'all
But
there.
prior to that, I
prior
didn't
to that,
have
I
that.
didn't have
People,
that.
if you don't
People, if
love
you don't
yourself
love
first,
yourself
who do you
first, who do
expect to
you
love you?
expect to love you? The
Yeah, I'm
Carry
here.
will
carry
be
will
the
be
baggage
the
that will be
baggage that will
showing
be
on your
showing on
health,
your
mentally
health,
and
mentally
physically.
and physically.
Exactly. That's my
Exactly. That's my
Sharon.
Sharon.
That is so
That is
very
so very
true.
true.
So, Jimmy,
So Jimmy,
how have you
how have you
changed?
changed?
You said, how do I feel about that?
How
No,
have
how
you
have
How have
you
you
changed?
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 Oh, how do I feel?
How do you know
How
you
do
have
you know you
changed?
have changed?
As far as my relationship?
Anything, like
Anything.
specific
Like,
as far
just
as
an
a relationship.
example.
Oh, okay, as far as
Okay,
a
as far as
relationship.
it's a
Okay, that's
relationship.
the
Okay,
answer.
that's what's
Okay.
answer. Okay.
So where?
So
How did
where?
you
How
change
did
in
you
your
change in
relationship?
relationships?
I changed a lot because I just got out of a 30-year marriage.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
A 30-year marriage.
Yeah, just got out of a 30-year marriage, and I'm 60 now. 49 of those years I've been married, and so I'm enjoying that freedom. That's 30 years.
Okay.
Okay.
That's wow.
That's
Oh
wow.
wow.
Oh wow. That's
So like,
so
how
like
has your
how
life
has your life
changed? Like you said,
changed?
you're
Like you said,
enjoying
you're
the
enjoying the
freedom.
freedom.
Well, I'm enjoying enjoying the freedom and I got a way to learn myself and to deal with myself.
How's that feel?
It's good. I mean, I had to develop a relationship with my children all over again. I'm still trying to develop that. But it's a growing process.
It's a growing
It's a
process.
growing
Yeah, I
process.
can
Yeah,
only
I can only
imagine how that
imagine
has
how
to
that has
be.
to be.
Um,
Um,
I've only been
I've
in my
only been in my
relationship for
relationship
12.
for 12 years, so I can't even imagine leaving a 30. Like, I really can't imagine how that would be.
We did a lot of talking with Star and Sharon, and they got me through. We got ourselves through a lot of that. That Jay was going through and that I was going through. We helped each other.
And that's a good thing. Like, when you have people that you can talk to, like, that's one thing that's good for me. I have my girlfriends are tried and true. I have one friend, I'm 52 years old, that I've had since I was 3 years old, two since I was 11, and other friends that from high school on. So those relationships, they really are my sisters. When I say family isn't always blood, I'm closer to them than I am my blood family. So Sharon, I think you're on the line as well. How do you give us an example of how you have changed?
How I know I changed?
No, Sharon, this time, or just the growth.
The way I handle situations now, things that used to bother me, is just goes off my back and fine with it.
Yes,
I don't respond the same way I used to.
that is very true.
Yeah.
And growth isn't that is definitely one of mine as well. Because things that used to would have me in an uproar, now I just let it roll over my shoulder.
Exactly. That's the other way walking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't tolerate a lot of stuff anymore.
Exactly. Oh, Sharon, we're on the same page. She said she also doesn't tolerate a lot of things anymore. My tolerance level is I'm very non-negotiable about my peace.
I'm more verbal now. I was never verbal before.
Oh, okay. Sean said she's more verbal now. She was never as verbal as she is now.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that too.
I just walk away and just be hurt and keep it moving. Just don't deal with you.
And I'm not going to be arguing unnecessarily. Like, I ain't got time to argue. I don't have time.
I say what I feel.
Okay. That's what's up. So I'm thinking that we had a very good conversation. I'm thinking we probably about to lose charge soon.
I'm going to ask these
Okay,
questions.
so Sean wants to ask some questions.
Oh, we'll do it the next time.
Okay, we'll do that the next time. So I want to thank y'all for joining in tonight. Despite the technical difficulties that we were having, we decided to press forth and press through. And I think we had a very good conversation.
We had an excellent conversation.
Yes. Courtney, thank you for the poem. Once again, you delivered.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, you delivered on the poem. I thank each and every last one of you. As I said, that I used to be with a network. I'm now a one-woman show. Well, a one-woman show with the technical end, and I have Sean and Courtney with me as I teach Sean. Sean wants to do a podcast one day, so I'm mentoring her in podcasting. And Lord knows she's learning how to deal with technical issues. Because Comcast in my area is everything is it's been Comcast. But as we grow each week, we are getting better. I thank you guys for rolling with me and stick hanging in there with me with the different things that I'm going through with the podcast. I thank you for your support. It means so much to me. And we're going to end the live now. And I want to say peace and blessings. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Deuces.
See y'all later.
Well, y'all are best for calling. Yay. Okay,
So
comment and then stop.